I started getting some emails from my husband, and when I first saw the headlines, I just couldn't believe it. You know, I just sort of couldn't process that the girl who was in front of me was the subject of these headlines about a distressed baby who cost the company too much money and was sort of being accused of having been, you know, a kind of an exorbitant drag on the company's bottom line. And so at first I just kind of didn't want to think about it because the last thing I want to do is relive those days where she was on life support. But you know, as the firestorm started to erupt over his remarks, the more I started thinking, you know, this is such an injustice to single out any individual, let alone a newborn baby, for simply undergoing, you know, a medical crisis and then using their health benefits. So I felt the need to speak up and defend my family. I felt like we had been exposed and that our privacy had been violated. And I also felt like, you know, where does this end if we could be singled out like this? I mean, what about a woman who comes out, you know, gets diagnosed with breast cancer?
Right.
I mean, would anyone dare to suggest that was, you know, somehow a luxurious option, you know, that we paid to save her life?
Now, Tim Armstrong has apologized, you know, with the company-wide memo, and I know you and he had a very personal conversation as he's the father of 3, and I know you've talked about that you believe that to be very sincere, right?
Yes. I do.
What more do you want from AOL?
Well, you know, I think AOL is actually a company that does strive to take care of its employees, and we have generous benefits. But I think that, you know, in the future, just with any discussion of health care expenditures, which are important and necessary for us to have on a national policy level, you know, I think it's legitimate for ethicists and healthcare experts to talk about, well, what's appropriate in terms of caring for extreme preemies, you know, given what the costs are and how many people have to do without health care. But I think in this situation, it was certainly not the time or place to have this kind of conversation. You know, we're talking about a company that just posted its best quarterly earnings in years and paid its CEO $12 million. So I would just hope that, you know, when we have these necessary conversations, that we approach it with more sensitivity, and when we're talking about the dollars and cents, that we're mindful of the actual human lives that are at stake.
Do you think that Tim Armstrong should, I mean, what do you think that should happen to him? I mean, should he keep his job after this?
You know, I feel like that's not for me to say. I don't think that he's a villain, and I'm not interested in raking him over the coals. I think he genuinely regrets what he said and the pain that he caused my family, and there was never any malicious intent in that.
And you've talked about what a violation this felt of your family's privacy. Now, I know he didn't call your family out by name, but, you know, as we said, your husband started getting emails. Everyone knew who he was at the company. You know, legal experts say that there could have been a violation here of medical privacy laws. Do you think that there was? I mean, are you all considering a lawsuit or anything else?
You know, I have not thought about that. I don't know the legality of the issue. All I know is that on an emotional level, it felt like a violation, and that among, you know, a lot of people who just knew my husband and knew us, they had heard about our situation because it was so shocking at the time.
Right.
And so it was really immediate, you know, the way that they were able to connect that to us personally. And when I started, you know, just seeing the reports that were out there and all the tweets about distressed babies, which, you know, quickly turned even into jokes about, you know, just about this whole media gossip.
Totally.
Yeah, right. It was extremely painful for me.